Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Deck Tech. So today we are playing Aeve Storm. We're talking about Aeve Storm. And specifically its land base and how to play it. That's where play comes in. As you can see, we got a great assortment, including some Pokemon cards. What? Well, we'll get to that. But before that, I want to talk a little bit more about what was missing from the regular ramp part of the mana base, which is kind of because they kind of work like lands. They're like cost 0, kind of like Soul Ring costs 1 but gives 2. And then you have Mana Crypt, which costs 0, gives 2, but it does damage. And then you have Jewel Lotus, which costs 0, gives 3, but it's only 1, so it's a ritual. So those are cards that kind of work like lands. And yeah, same thing is going to happen with all these other lands, such as Ancient Tomb, which actually gives 2 mana and deals 2 damage, kind of like Mana Crypt. And then we have Gemstone Caverns, which enters the battlefield at the beginning of the game, so you have an extra land. That's only if you don't go first. And then you have Nykthos Trying to Nyx, which is going to be giving you mana equal to the Devotion. So it's a green deck, you're going to have plenty of green. Then you have Gaia's Cradle, that's going to be kind of like Nykthos, but even better, because you're going to be having mana for each creature. Then we have Fanghorn Forest, or this is actually kind of like a proxy, I guess. It's the Lord of the Rings version of Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, which makes every single one of your lands into forests, so you don't actually have to activate these further effects. You can just have them tap, and that way you don't have to pay 2 here. You don't have to pay only if you have creatures, tap only if you have creatures, or you know, only for whatever. Maybe you start the game with this, maybe you don't, so then it'll just be giving you 1 regular mana, and then this one will not do any damage to you. Finally, we have Wirewood Lodge, which is going to cost 1 for you to untap target elf, so that's technically like Selvala untapper. And next to that, what we have here is a Dryad Arbor, which you can use for ramp, because if you have a Green Sun Zenith, you can pay 0, because Dryad Arbor's cost is 0, which means that you can for 0 you can for 1 mana you can actually get this one, and then you get an additional land for free. So that's kind of ramp. And yeah, the rest of the cards that you see here are fetch lands, which are going to make your deck more consistent. It's a numbers thing. It's 1 point something %. It's not a big deal, but it does add up. And hey, it also lowers your life, so you're not at perfect health if someone wants to attack the highest attack. You know, that kind of thing happens sometimes. And yeah, it's actually going to be, you know, if you don't look at it at percentage wise, look at it advantage wise. Like for each fetch land that you draw is 2 lands less that you could draw. Okay, so that's actually a cantripping effect, and it is useful to a very small amount, but hey, we're gonna get all the help that we can get because we're in green and we can only speed up from there. Okay, and finally we have a ton of basics, of which I use energies instead of regular MTG lands. Okay, so why energies? Well, it doesn't really matter that it's an energy or not. There is no difference in terms of height, width, or thickness of Pokemon and Magic cards. There is no difference. So it's not going to be felt whether it's an energy or not. However, it will be visible to you when you want to search for a basic, which this deck is going to do a whole lot of. So because all of Magic's borders are either black or white or gray, which does not apply to us, it is actually going to be very easy to check out which has a yellow border like the Pokemon cards do. So it is way faster for both you and your opponents that you actually look for energies instead of basics and scour your deck trying to find that last one. Instead, you can just look for whichever yellow border card you have and just pick it up, and that's it. You don't have to look whether it has a cost or not, whether it's a forest, whether it's a basic, whether it has art or not. It'll just be that energy. So it's really easy to pick up, and it's a super cool visual cue. It makes you stand out a little bit, but it's like in a funny way, in an artsy way. You know, you're making a statement, but also you're trying to help people out. So I like it a lot. All my commander decks have energies for basics, and yeah, let me know what you think of that idea though, as well as how effective you think fetch lands really are. The popular opinion is that they are not, but this represents more than 6%, so I don't know, maybe it is important. And yeah, it is something that over time it accumulates, so it is actually compounding in its effect. It is not just 6%. Is that if you do this turn 1, this turn 2, this turn 3, that's actually 6 lands less that you could draw. That's really good. That means 12 lands less that you could draw if you get them all in a row, or if you play them all with something like you know, exploration, or maybe you have Ramunap, Excavator, and exploration. So now they are twice as effective, which means 18 cards less in the deck. That's actually a lot. That's a fifth of the deck. And when you've already drawn another 10 cards, that's a lot. You know, it becomes a fourth or a third really quickly. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'll be seeing you on the next one. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and follow for more. Okay, so I will see you on the next one. Peace out.